The Origins of Life, Reflections of Love and Light, Part 14. So there's this symbol, and before I knew the name for it, my immediate, picture in my mind of what I kind of always thought it were is like, for one, an eyeball, but also water. So it's like light through water. It's exactly like, like what I've been showing quite often and stuff, like when you see the butterfly wings and stuff. And that's light through water, isn't it? So in the same sense, it could also be the tunnel, the wave tunnel, you know what I mean? Which is, this also follows that pattern. But also, like, looking at it just as water, it's, everything's always off center, or quite often, you know what I mean? It's like that's closer to this side than that side, you know what I mean? So this one's closer to this side. This one's stretched. So like how water stretches and moves and all these kind of things and stuff, like, and to me it's like that's like God's vision, you know what I mean? So like, God sees everything, don't he, you know what I mean? In that kind of sense of like karma, and you know what I mean, everything's recorded upon the Akashic records and stuff, like. So that's what it's always kind of like, that's what it, resembles to me and stuff, like. And like the modern term for it is the evil eye, and protects you from malignant stares and all these kind of things and stuff, like. And there's meanings and stuff, like, but we're going to go on to. See, it's like in a basic form of how I see it is, God is a witness to everything. So in that sense, like if somebody wears this charm, like a necklace or whatever and stuff like that, then it's giving that warning, you know what I mean? If that person's going to betray them, you know what I mean, in whichever way, then they see this symbol and it's a reminder that they won't get away with it, you know what I mean, in the truth of it all and stuff. So that would ward off, evil, you know what I mean, especially, if there's any intelligence behind anybody that's, gonna do anything nefarious and stuff like that. And that intelligence include like spirituality and stuff, like, and understanding those kind of aspects of the world, as a reminder, you know what I mean? Because it's like people can get caught up in life and all those kind of things and stuff, like. In opposition to this, you have like the Luciferian and Freemason all-seeing eye, and I feel like that is a completely different thing. They want to put fear into people, you know what I mean? And this is what their eye looks like. It's a mechanical eye. It's not all-seeing. It's just seeing where they're available to see. You know what I mean? As they develop a technology, maybe they won't have to use cameras anymore, and they'll just be able to sense everything through a field, and put that into information and then show it on an image or a screen, But as it is, that's a false eye, you know what I mean? It's not a real eye, is it? So there's a big difference. And I kind of think that, as much as Satan or the Illuminati want that to be the all-seeing eye, it isn't, you know what I mean? So yeah, they've all got different meanings and stuff, like different colours. One thing to note, you know what I mean, like different colours of water, you know what I mean? We've got all your brown there, the sunset, you know what I mean, and stuff. They're all applicable, really, all the colours, every colour. Pause if you want meanings. But I see, they're usually off centre and stuff. But again, the colours and stuff, like, it's like you've got like blue eyes, you've got green eyes, and you've got brown eyes, haven't you? So, red and yellow and black and whatever else and stuff, like. Um, it's not really normal for people, you know what I mean? But you do get it in animals, you know what I mean? And stuff like, and again, like as we discussed, it's like reflecting the water in it and stuff. So maybe they were more understanding of it years ago and stuff. So what I read about it was, it said like pre-Christian times, it were like a good thing, you know what I mean, a good omen or a good thing to have, or you know, in those kind of senses and stuff. Um, and then it was Christian stuff, which kind of like give it a bad name label, and it's like, you know, it's um, they deemed it as evil, you know what I mean, and I kind of think that were like propaganda which were inserted into a religion which was, they took advantage of truth to exploit the people, basically, when, you know, with religions and things like that kind of thing. I mean, even in fairy culture, you've still got like the spiritual war, the fallen angels, and all these kind of things, you know what I mean? So it's like that existed before the Bible war era and stuff like, and then even when you go back to like Egyptian times and stuff like that kind of thing, um, it's still kind of there and stuff. So you got your new butterfly, that's water, or the colour of the water, or it's actually representing wood kind of thing, like, or both. Yeah, because like, even there you've got like an eye shape of a sun, you know what I mean, which have always been calling it and stuff. And then you've got all your wave ripples and stuff like that kind of thing, which are, you know, we're not perfectly parallel, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. It's like swelling and all that kind of thing involved. And we showed you some of them, you know, like that kind of stuff like before. An interesting aspect of it, like the cross section at night, how it goes in and how it works with the wood, you know what I mean, how it kind of, so if that was sunlight and it was hot, you know what I mean, it's kind of going into water, but water can tell the difference and stuff like, it's just kind of the shape it'd make, you know what I mean, how it'd affect the water around it, you know what I mean, like bending it because of heat and stuff like. And in the same sense, when you think about how a branch comes out, again, it's like in a roll, like a cylindrical shape and stuff like your arms and all these kind of things. Like the wave, you know what I mean, at the ocean, at the shore when it turns over and stuff like, it's making that same shape and stuff like. So it goes and then it splits. So is that where water's refracting? You know what I mean, through water and stuff, and water can bend, can it, and stuff like, you know what I mean. So see, it's an undercurrent, you know what I mean. So that undercurrent's gonna like bend the light even, you know. Potentially, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I will like refracts it though, kind of thing. Like they're just more nuts, you know, like sunlight kind of like look to it and stuff. And again, connecting it to the eye as well. Same thing again. You know, the eye and the wood. How the sunlight affects the water, and then how that looks like a chakra or an onion. You know what I mean, in terms of like um, chopping fruit in half and all that kind of stuff. Even more like it. You got a burl. Again, like a chakra. You got loads of burls. So it's like surface at sea. So like the sun's hitting different spots where the light's catching water because it's in different positions, catching, you know, reflecting, and where it kind of making a, you know, an appropriate optical lens to like absorb the sun into the water, you know what I mean. So you got like loads of patches of water where that had happened. So it's like it's reenacting that anyway. like I mentioned before about bills and stuff, like it's chakras, loads of chakras. That's like what the sun's doing to the water. Is that like putting life into the water, you know? Some more ice. I thought it was interesting how it kind of made those patterns around wood and stuff like that. So speaking about these, like the line that goes through the dark line, like the eyes in the centre. So you can take it as like the wave is oncoming. So you're seeing like the curl of a wave is all the dark area. So it's like, yeah, like I say, oncoming and stuff like. But another aspect is that's where the centre is. So that'd be like perspective going down to the bottom, which that is kind of like repeating it. So I've got a couple more. You see it there with wave going over. That wave, you can see little bristles there. Which kind of contributes to it and stuff. It's the same like a raccoon, badger, and badgers are more like a line going that way, you know what I mean, and white stripe going over the top of it and stuff. But yeah, again, so it connects the eye. That connects the eye as well. So also, we're talking about these. We've got all the waves which like wrap around it. You know what I mean? I know we're talking about how it's spiraling and you've got like the tunnel going through it, so it's like a tube in it in a way and stuff. So the comparison to that, to these shells, see how they fold over, and then it's spiral at the top of it and stuff. They're all a bit different and stuff like. But these like ice cream cone kind of shaped ones. You got your spiral at the top there. So it's kind of the same pattern as the fish. You know what I mean? Also like a flower bud. You can see the wave. I think I showed you that one, didn't I? Alright, so do a few more, what's it called? Water. This angle. I think I tried to show you that one last time, but it was a bit. It was time lapse. I mentioned that, did I? I can't remember because one of the videos I redid. But like the time lapse here, for it to be like fur when you compare it to like fur on a moth's face, or on on that owl, or you know anything with fur really and stuff like. But you know what I mean, you can really see how it's found those patterns and stuff like. You know what I mean, and it's using that time lapse aspect. You see it here as well. But then, you know, shiny, you know what I mean? That smoothness that you get from it as well. So, like, scales and all sorts of stuff, like. And you see the colour patterns here, like the red and white and stuff like that. You see them kind of patterns on fish as well. You know what I mean? Where it's got, like, much more of this, much starker kind of colour, you know what I mean? Starker, you know what I mean? Like a brighter and in your face in a sense. It's wrong kind of description, but you know, brighter. It's got weight up at the top of it. There's lots to consider, like, you know, because it's sensing all pressure. You know what I mean? It's by happenstance, but with the memory that it holds and stuff like, and the potential life that comes from, like, you know, the sun's energy and stuff that that comes in there and stuff like that. I mean, it's in the environment, but it's sensing. You know what I mean? So, you know, it depends where it is, the climate and all that kind of stuff, for what kind of waves you're going to get. You know what I mean? There's all about left brain kind of rationality to why we have waves and stuff, that kind of thing. Like, but it's what the water and light is doing with it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how it's, you know, it's used that information so it can design what can live here. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's right designed for a butterfly to be able to fly, or a seagull, or an eagle, yeah, etc. You know, it knows it all from all this information. Is the outline? It goes all the way across there. See those lines like ribs? Someone like a kestrel. Something else coming down. And see if that can be top of the fish. And you get your line there. Like your what's it called? Your stripe, which went across it and stuff like, which could have been the horizon and all that kind of stuff like, which is more likely to be the wave. And I'm describing the sky above them and stuff like, so that could be, you know, it could be just reenacting that, but sometimes it does look like the sky as well, kind of thing like. So I kind of think some fish, it just depends, you know. Obviously this kind of like mixed with feathers and all those kind of things, and fur, hair, all that kind of stuff. See all the points of reflection of light. See how, like, how many lenses does it have really and stuff. Again, like ribs, tiger stripes, and the colours you get as well. You get that shape again, like a roller coaster in a sense. It climbs up and then drops away. I showed you that one. That one from the beginning. Another rolling one. You've got all these patterns, all them patterns that follow it. Because that's on fish, you get this, when it turns over, it creates all froth, and then you get all lines afterwards and stuff. That was one of the early ones. Is that way up mucking it? It's fine. And so if you come back, you've got that angle at curve again. So all these lines, it goes back in. See it ump. Tiger's tail. How it lifts. I'll try and rush through them. It's all of them. It's like a tree. Or wood, you know. Again, that line. So we'll go on these. I've not got one left now. What's the next one? See, wave on it and stuff. What's the next one? We got it. You got that big wave there going across the body. It looks like sand on it in that kind of sense. And you got waves that are following up. Now you know the waves, you know what that fold is about. You know what I mean? It looks like it's turning over and stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like a 3D-ness to the picture. Or depth. See that line? It climbs over it. And you got all that pattern. It's like the ribs of the wave and stuff. Climbs up. See there, you got a line and a line there. So it's like looking through the wave. You know the side, like the when the divers were taking photos from behind the wave. So that's like where it's got two lines above its eye, above and below. You get into a wave, you got pattern, all that there. It's like the sunlight catching it, or the froth and stuff. Another one. That's a bit more of a blander fish, but you can proper see the wave on it though. As it's turned over there, you know what I mean, and that salt darkness of the curl-up wave. That's either spray or sky. You got like white froth again, and that's like either blending in with sand or it's all froth. Again. A lot of them fish are the same anyway, from this little pile and stuff like. They look good for, you know what I mean, it's got like a twinkle kind of aspect to express that distance. Like water looking at itself, you know what I mean? It's almost like egoic, but like reflections in water and stuff. Which is also an aspect of people, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be egoic, it could be more prideful or, you know, waves. I see our wave at top and below eye, so it's like looking through where we were taking pictures from. But also it is the tunnel as well, kind of thing, so that's like looking in the tunnel. That's quite good. It's quite light as well there. See, you can see how it like catches sunlight and fades off. Tumbling over there, sunlight coming in. we are nearing end, so I've got more fish to show you, so I will do another one just for the fish and that lot. But I think for most parts of like philosophy and understanding everything about, you know, what I've been trying to develop with all this and stuff like is pretty much rounded off. I was saying that, look at these. These type of eyes, it's a C shape, which is, you know, like your wave. It's just that it's either collapsing or the light's getting blocked. And it's just designed it that way as well, you know what I mean? There's like loads of ways that it could have done it, you know what I mean? Like we spoke about reptilian and cat eyes and stuff, that kind of thing, and then you know, full circles or whatever and stuff like. There again. I'll show that one, because that's like the seashell as well, and the other fish, it wraps over and all that kind of thing, and it's like them fish I just showed you in that previous folder, with waves coming over them and stuff like. But that wraps it up because I've got no more time left on this one. So thanks for watching again. I'll get on with the next one. Cheers.